Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming to LRGA Curves this morning. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell so you can get notified when I upload videos over here on LRGA Curves. Okay? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. My mare. Thanks for coming back, beautiful. Happy Saturday. We are here to, I'm gonna let it go till 2 minutes in. Let's see, because I have, oh look, awesome. You guys be sure you smash that like button on the way in. We're gonna get started with Real Housewives of New York City. New York City? Yep, we're gonna be starting with that here in a minute. Give people time to come on in. I don't have a link to drop this time because y'all didn't come up last time. So I decided to bring it over here to the YouTube live stream. Getting the graces of the algorithm. They like when you go live from YouTube. Hopefully it'll let some people know that I'm on. Because I am definitely on this morning. We'll ride it 2 minutes. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Yes, and smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring my bell. Ring my bell. So you can get notified when I upload videos and whatnots and knots of what, okay? So, Real Housewives of New York. Have you guys been checking it out? I've been checking it out. And I have thoughts. I do have thoughts. Now, the first thought that comes to mind, Candor. Candor, my friend, how are you? I hope that you are doing most excellent. And I know that you moved, so I hope you like your new place. Yes, yes. Thanks for stopping by and dropping a like because, yeah, y'all, all y'all should smash the like button. I am doing most excellent. All a sister really needs is a good realigning of her chakras, and things usually look up. Okay. So, in the Real Housewives of New York, did you guys notice that this is a reboot? So, there's no legacy people on from the original Real Housewives of New York franchise. And if you don't know your history, let me catch you up to speed. The Real Housewives of New York got a reboot because of Black people. Okay, because a Black lady named Ebony K. Williams, who just had a baby by herself, BT Dubs, excuse me, she just had a baby by herself, went on the Real Housewives of New York, and those ladies were horrible to her. Then after she was on the show, she hit them with they got investigated for somebody allegedly using the hard R in word in Ebony's presence, and then some other things have been said about Ebony's Blackness around the ladies. And if you watched that season, then you'll know that Ramona's eyes were very racist leaning. Oh my God, her racist slip was showing so bad. They had a Black Shabbat. She's like, well, what about a white Shabbat? They talked about their black issues, and she's like, well, I was treated worse. And just everything the Black people or the Black woman would say, Ramona would somehow have to one up her situation. Instead of just fucking listen, she would insert Ramona feelings here. And that's not what the talks were about. So then after the season ended, because of the lawsuits, the season went on hiatus. Oh yeah, remember, we didn't even get a reunion that year. That's how little freaking Bravo wanted to hold these white ladies accountable for treating that Black lady like this. Okay, they all went against Ebony by the end of it, and Ebony ruined everything. And even her so-called woke friend Leah McSweeney was saying that Ebony was to blame. And it's one of the first times in Housewives history that we did not get no, it is the first time in Housewives history on an established show where we did not get a reunion. And it was all because the white ladies didn't want to have to answer for their feelings. Now, I wish I had an allegedly thing on here because it's kind of allegedly, in my opinion, allegedly, but that's really what happened. They were going to have to answer for how they treated Ebony K. Williams and for why they all had racist slips hanging out the back of their Chanel skirts and why they would have fixed their mouths to say the things they say. If you guys believe it or not, Morgan, the good lady Sonia Morgan, yes, the good lady Sonia Morgan, she had some of the most sense that season. Okay. It was very, very interesting because how does Sonia end up the sharpest knife in a drawer? Okay. But she was the only one that from the jump um, didn't have any racial snafus on to Ebony. Luann was mad that Ebony said she was smart and got all offended. And then all of a sudden, going to tell the black lady with 18 degrees that book smarts isn't everything. There's world smarts. And that's what she was because she only had her nursing degree. And then made her leave because she was the smartest one at the table. Remember? Because, of course, Luann's class's ears heard a black woman say she's the most educated person at the table. And Luann took that to mean that Ebony just called me stupid. But that's not what she said. She stated a fact that in her Googling, she realized that she is the most educated person at that table. And they were so offended at the black lady knowing how smart she was and not being afraid to mention it. They were so offended that that black lady tried to shed light on her experience and took a lot of Real Housewives of New York moments to educate the masses on the black experience. I was appreciative of Ebony K. Williams' entire storyline on that show because I felt like those ladies needed to know. Because I had long questioned, how are you in New York City and you don't even have any black friends? Until you bring a black cast member on, then all of a sudden Ramona dusted off that black lady, remember? But they never hardly even had black friends at their galas and events or anything. And then the one time they finally widened their horizons and put some body of African descent on there. And they finally put somebody on African descent on there. And now all of a sudden, right? So I watched that very closely. And I've said it here when it happened that I felt like that was Bravo again, adding to Nene Leakes' case about a hostile work environment that fostered discrimination and racist tendency people in a work environment. I felt like they just added to her case by not even having a freaking reunion. That proved it. They don't even want to talk about your fucking race over there. Okay. More or less hold these white ladies accountable for said race. Now, I brought all that up to say that now we're in the second season of this reboot with no OGs in sight. And we have this lady, Brynn, on the screen. Now, you may or may not know that Brynn with the red hair, do you guys know that she's black? Can you put a one in the chat if you knew that Brynn was black? Of course you did. But she's very white passing. Okay. Yeah, Mamere knew. But if you just look at her, you would be like, oh, she might be a white lady, right? But her also being a natural red hair, the side note, I've heard since I was born that redheaded people, since they have so much melanin, they are like very close to black anyway. And her being a freaking ginger proves the point, right? Anyway, you would be able to tell with Brynn, said Mademoiselle. Mimi73 could tell. LC Charm, thanks for being here. Not only white passing. Yes, Brynn is a Jessica Rabbit, Candor said. I heard that too about the redheads. Yeah, see, we have heard it. Let me get some of these Thank you all for being here this morning. I thought it was strange how the cast was all white in America, right? I thought that was so strange. Just like how over in New Jersey, You live in New Jersey. There's a lot of black people that live in New Jersey, but they don't even have black friends at their parties either. I'm like, that's very telling. How are you going to be on a show for 13 years and the only black people that you show on your New Jersey screen are the poor, disheveled black women that Dolores goes and helps? You know what I'm saying? It speaks volumes to who your friend groups is, right? No wonder you haven't inserted a black housewife over in New Jersey because you hardly get along with the lady who had a black husband. Anyway, leave my thoughts in my head about that. It wasn't messing the original series after Bethany left. Yeah, Bethany wasn't everything, but she's definitely added a dynamic to the cast that was appreciated and missed. You know, um, I'm a redhead, but I'm albino white. Oh, Candor, no way, really? um, that's funny. Exactly. New York, the most diverse city in the nation. That's what I'm saying. Like, so how can you be the most diverse city in the nation and only have Becky's and Karen's in your friend circle? Like, that's because you're not trying, bitch. You're really not trying. And you might be excluding some very nice friends if you let them have a chance. Okay. Scottish ancestry. You know, I got the Scottish in me too, Candor. I'm from Glass. There was a Glass tribe in Scotland, and Glass meant gray haired, and the whole clan was prematurely gray. And then here in my family in America, we're black, but the Glass side is prematurely gray. So when I was doing our family lineage and stuff, and it was traced into Scotland somehow, I was like, well, what the fuck? Anyway, yeah. So, sorry, I was having some scrambled eggs. I need some protein. Husband got at me this morning. I'm a little hungry. Okay. Yeah, it's so cool that I found that out. Except for I used 23andMe, and now BlackRock owns my DNA. So you might see three larges walking around. I'm the one in the middle. Okay. I'm the one in the middle. Yeah. So I say all that to say that it's really interesting that you have this new season with three black girls and one brown girl in Jessel. And that's how the reboot season one went. So it had four people, it had four black girls and one person of color. And then it had Aaron, Jenna, and what's the other one's name? Isn't there another one? Aaron, Jenna, Lyons, Aaron, and yeah, no, I think that's it. Or somebody's very forgettable. So last season, all the people played nice. Nobody really brought up color or anything. And it took me a while to even figure out that Brynn was black. It wasn't like she's like, oh, I'm black. It was like something got said one time and it was like, oh yeah, Brynn is black, you know? So she doesn't lead with that, in my opinion. The way the lady just running for president was trying to lead with she was black. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that over there. I told you guys to come so we could forget the election. But so I was like, oh, this could be cute. This could be cute. And then to have Uba's beautifulness and size, urban edge, and Brynn's flirty Jessica Rabbitness. It was three distinct types of blackness. And I was appreciative of that. I was like, ooh, they go from 0 to 100 over there in New York. They go from 0 to 100. Right? And who's know what, know who's what not. They're only one, yeah. I avoid the sun now. Right? I'm glad that you're here. I'm warming up to this sun a little this season. Oh, to Psy. Me too. So the first season, Psy was on my nerves. Oh my God. I was like, try hard city. Here we come. And I kind of like it better when the ladies just kind of have this natural, unforced, not using any housewife handbook notes, and we get to try to learn them authentically. But I did not feel like Psy came and appeared to us in that way when she first got on the scene. She was like very pushy, very hardcore, thought that she was the fashionista. And actually, I don't know if me and one of my subbies would always get into it because she had pumped me up to Psy. And then by the time she came, I was like, I don't like your new girl. And she's like, oh, well, she's great. And then she did a couple of things. And I was like, yeah, I really don't like your new girl. But this season, it's been going very well. Yeah, you guys go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video. Okay? Yeah, Uba's my fave too, Mimi. And so this season, it's interesting because Uba came in hot because of where they left off last season. So to me, that says that these girls aren't real friends either, or why are you not addressing it until these cameras get in our face? I feel like if you were really making waves, you would have pulled a Psy and Jenna Lyons and been working on forging a friendship while the cameras were down so that we believed you once the cameras were back up and you're at lunch sitting across from each other talking like girlfriends. We believe you because we could feel that because it didn't feel like it was just for this scene. Whereas it seemed like Uba had not had a chance to really get off her chest to Brynn how she really felt after Brynn's jealous betrayal of Uba last season during that final party where Brynn told Uba's secret about her Connecticut billionaire dude. And she was trying to keep that under wraps. And she had told Psy in confidence, but Psy, I guess, didn't have anything to talk about. And so she was talking about Uba's business, which is a thread. When these ladies don't have much of a storyline, they drop a nugget or a pearl about somebody else's storyline because they don't have no storyline of their own. Right? So she's sitting there talking to Brynn and is like, oh yeah, by the way, Uba told me that she really is dating some guy in Connecticut, but doesn't want him mentioned. And so I feel like Brynn knew not to say anything, but since she didn't get told directly from Uba when they were at that party, the way Brynn did it too, it was just so messy. It screamed green-eyed monster. It was like, why did you need to say that? And Uba played it off so good. But Uba did not get mad at Psy, who immediately went over and apologized. She's like, I told her, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. But then Psy and Uba both went and got mad at Brynn. And I was on board with that because that's what you get for spilling other people's tea. That's their tea to spill. And even if she did tell Psy, she didn't tell you. And you had no right to be like, I can make a booger talk at the party in regards to who Uba is seeing. That was not your business. We want to know who your current daddy is. How about that? Do you have a current sugar daddy who's paying those bills? Why don't we get to know what you do for a living? Why didn't we ever see your house last season? And then this season, by the time we see it, it's this little tinky apartment on like the 18th floor with no elevator. Talk about walk up, right? And it's just really interesting how the person with no business to tell of her own last season literally has her victim face on because Uba is still not checking for her messy ass this season because she hasn't got an apology. She hasn't got the accountability from Brynn that she requires to feel safe and move forward in this relationship. That's my opinion. So when the ladies get invited to Erin's not rat infested Hamptons home, because you know the reason that she had to move, Erin, you know Erin, who's having problems with her husband right now because he stole her Bitcoin. Yeah, that Erin. Everything I say is allegedly and for entertainment purposes, but she did say that he took their Bitcoin without her knowledge, and she thought they had it to pay the back rent on the apartment that they were living in because they owed $43,000 in back rent after only 3 months. So I'm like, that doesn't sound like a really good deal on rent. Anyway, but the reason they had stopped paying their rent was because their New York apartment was infested with rats, they said. And so they took the landlord, they didn't pay. They ended up with this eviction, $43,000 later. The first thing Erin says is, oh, let's go get the Bitcoin. And her husband was like, oh, about that. It's gone. And had never mentioned it to her. So then she was like, well, oh, let's go get this other savings that I had right here. He's like, yeah, I kind of needed that too. But hadn't said anything. That's financial abuse, ladies. That is financial abuse, in my opinion. If your significant other is spending your money as in our money, without your knowledge or consent, then at the time that you need the money, it literally is a betrayal. Because you didn't say nothing and you slept next to me every night, bro. I'm sure you got a BJ once or twice. Between the time you took that Bitcoin and the time she found out, you got a number of BJs. Okay. So that's betrayal, because I'm sure the BJs were with the comfort in the back of her mind that, oh, we got that Bitcoin and it just got to 61,000. Come to find out, you don't have nothing, nada, zilch. All because your non-communicative husband decided to clear out your savings. And that also, I'm not sure, I'm like, are all the ladies on these shows like dingbats or something? Because I know about the money in my household, and I'm also a Capricorn. I make it a point to know about the money in my household. But like, are you just not checking anything? That the money could have also been gone for, like, it was a long time. Like, it had been like the year before he had taken the Bitcoin. So she didn't check. She didn't get an alert on her phone. She just thought she was sitting pretty. I check all my investments like regularly, even if they look like they're going down. I check them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just because I like to know where I stand. Knowledge is power. So it's really surprising to me that somebody like a Erin, who seems to be really entitled to people's time and energy, wouldn't entitle herself to her own financial situation and be caught off guard by such a betrayal. Yeah. So when they got to Erin's house in the Hamptons, that was not full of rats. And that house, I believe, is her family's house. And that's why it wasn't affected by their money issue. When they get to this house up here, they had a little Shabbat dinner and everybody made something. That was the cute night. And Uba and Sai and Brynn were like in this space. And what I notice is, because Erin, this is my opinion, I feel like Brynn's, Erin, I feel like Brynn, the one with the red hair right here, with her ability to pass for white, gives her access to white. And we know the saying that, if you're white, then you're right. So her looking like Jessel, because Jessel gets to check Caucasian too. You know that, right? Even though she's browner than me, she gets to check Caucasian. So Jessel, Jenna, and Erin kind of flock to Brynn in a way where they do that thing. You know how the ladies be staying on code, where there can be a problem. They won't know nothing that's going on, but they're going to take the lady that looks like them's side right off top, and you must be wrong. So they get to the house, and Sai is like, let me go talk to Brynn, because they had an issue also. And I feel like it was still residue from Brynn telling, and to show you they're not friends, they haven't talked until these cameras get back on. They get to the house, they go to the other room, and Brynn is the most relaxed black girl that I've ever seen in my life. The way she sits, the way she talks, she's just so la 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 la. She's just so comfy, comfy. Nothing to see here, nothing bothers her. But it's all a farce because she's really one of the most sensitive ones in the house. So she had been crying to Aaron, crying to Jenna, crying to anybody that would listen about Cy. And then her and Cy go to sit down, and Cy starts to talk, and Brynn shuts her down. Didn't even let her finish a fucking sentence. She didn't even get to finish a thought. You know how maddening that is? To finally get to talk to the person you're mad at, and they shut you down with the fake "I'm sorry" just to shut you up. The "I'm sorry" was only to shut up Cy. It was so she could not finish her thought, because Brynn decided it was time to move on, and she didn't want to be held accountable for her spilling the beans that Cy gave her to spill, and it was time to move on and nothing to see here. And "I'm sorry, what are you still talking for?" And I hate that shit. Ooh, I cannot stand when somebody won't let me finish a damn sentence. That's why I have my channel over here by my damn self. Because I was over on a couple of panels and they wouldn't let me talk. I haven't been back to their house since. I ain't been back. But that's why I can come over here and shut up when I want to, talk when I want to. But I don't go places where you're just going to shut me down and I can't finish a sentence. Like, that's rude. So I was totally team Cy and flabbergasted when Cy couldn't finish a sentence, and all the other Caucasians in the house flock to Brynn, who wouldn't let her finish the sentence, and try to tell Cy, "Oh, well, you can see that you just let Brynn talk." And I'm like, on Cy's side, I'm like, bitch, I haven't even finished my sentence yet. Why do I need to let her talk? Because that's what happens when you stay on code with your people, or the people you think are your people. You're automatically going to take their side and want them to finish, even though they didn't let you talk. So Cy gets up from that conversation, just like done. She's like, "Fine, you won't let me finish the sentence? I'm out." Brynn is so white passing that she immediately turns on white lady tears and victimizes herself further and starts crying about how "I just can't take this." You can't take what? Not letting the black lady finish her sentence? You can't take what? Being held accountable? You can't take what? What can't you take exactly? Because actually nothing happened except for you shut her up and then played victim. So I'm looking at Brynn cross-eyed. So then Brynn and Uba were outside after Brynn had a meltdown with Cy. They're sitting outside, and Uba was hot. She'd been telling the other girls, she was like, "I'm hot. And there's pigeons here, you little pigeons. You pigeons here carrying these stories all around like pigeons." Has anybody ever seen a baby pigeon? Side note, I have not. I have never seen a baby pigeon. I have never seen a pigeon nest. I have never seen even, yeah. And I would love to know, has anybody seen a baby pigeon? No, you did not. You raised them, Candor? Are they little cute, little cutes? Or, because even when the people show the people on the top of the buildings in New York that, have the pigeons like Mike Tyson used to have, they never show me any baby pigeons, even in a pigeon coop. Oh, they are cute. Oh, well, they must never fall out of their nest, because I never seen a nest or an eggshell. I don't know if they're spotted, blue, white, brown. Are they big like eggs? Are they little like quail eggs? I don't know. I have never, ever seen one. That is so cute. Yeah, Brynn is definitely playing a character, Candor. Totally playing a Candor. She decided, like you said, she wanted to be Jessica Rabbit. And she's black when she needs to tell these other black ladies that they're going to be the angry black lady, but the rest of the time she's passing for white. Yep. So let me get to that part. So Uba was like, "Oh, these pigeons! These pigeons. I can't with the pigeons." And can anybody tell me why Uba keeps wearing this damn scarf on her head? I'm like, you're a whole fashionista model. You and Chanel Ion are the hottest things on these screens, and usually the most fashionable. I'm not sure what happened to her fashion. Is that, but when you get in a relationship and you're kind of comfortable, you might start wearing more comfortable clothes instead of your sexy come hither clothes. But look, I don't want to see that scarf too many more times, Miss Uba. Anyway, so she's sitting at the table with her scarf on, and her and Brynn kind of start going back at each other. And she's like, "Because you're a snake." She told Brynn that she was a snake because Brynn is trying to just act like, you're still mad about what? What now? Was Brynn's attitude. And Uba said, "Nobody can see you coming because you're the snake." And that goes back to the text that Aaron said. Wasn't it Aaron? One of the white girls had said that Brynn can be kind of scary, you guys. Brynn can be scary because she texts the ladies when they're not in season talking about, "I'm like carbon monoxide, bitches. You won't see me coming." That's a threat. That is a felony threat, in my opinion. Well, a veiled felony threat. "I'm like carbon monoxide. You won't see me coming, bitch." That sounds like a threat. And one of the other ladies had talked about getting this text from Brynn. And so when Uba was saying, "We won't see you coming, nobody sees you, you're the snake," I think she was thinking about the carbon monoxide statement. But Brynn used the opportunity to drill into the word snake, which, hey, look, if you're going to call me carbon monoxide or a snake, I might take the carbon monoxide um, reference because I made it. But nobody really wants to be called a snake. But if you're being snakish, then by all means. So again, here comes Brynn with the needing to be consoled by everybody at the table because, oh, poor me. She started all the shit. She called the police and nothing was happening. She filed a fake police report, pretty much, brought the whole situation on herself, and now is crime victim yet again because Uba is not resolved in her feelings about blasting her business out like that. So later on in the night, they're sitting down to the dinner. Was that the Shabbat dinner? Yeah, they were sitting down to the dinner. And um, between dinner and the blow up, Brynn and Aaron, and this is some more, to me, this is some white chick shit. I don't know. Can you put an 8 in the chat if you don't know either? Because I'm not playing with no roaches, fake or real, on a beautiful spread of dinner that I put on. And Aaron and Brynn decided that the only way to feel better was to gross out everybody else and put fake roaches in the food. And ha ha he, isn't this funny? Because Brynn was crying about, "I don't want to be here. I want to go home. I'm gonna leave. Oh my god, I called the police 5 times and made 8 fake police reports, and now I don't want to be here because I look so stupid." And so to make her feel better, Aaron was like, "I know. I have these fake roaches. Let's put them all over the dinner." And then Brynn specifically says, "You know who will hate it? Is Uba. Uba will hate this." So you see how she's constantly antagonizing Uba? So this is a version of throwing your rocks and hiding your hands. So she knows she's about to antagonize Uba yet again, on top of an unresolved antagonizing with the whole mentioning of your billionaire Connecticut man last season. She tried to talk to you about it. You're further a victim. And now your only way to make it feel better is to put fake roaches on her food? Really, Brynn? Really, Aaron? Really? Really? So at that dinner, Uba said that Brynn was the one who, it's just she has unresolved feelings towards Brynn, and Brynn is the one who really takes her out of her character, and that's not really who she is or how she usually acts, and things like that. And they were saying that, where'd I go? Can you still see me? They were saying that Brynn, off camera, I guess, because the eighth housewife didn't show us this conversation. But there had been a conversation after Uba and Sai both went to go talk to Brynn, and Brynn played victim crying to all the people, where Brynn then had the audacity to go back to the two black girls without the white ladies around and say, well, they're just going to edit you like an angry black woman, and I don't want your billionaire to not like you because you're seen as an angry black woman. And then brought it up the next day in front of the white girls. So the white girls are like, I don't think she's going to be seen like that. And they're like, well, you wouldn't know, you're not black. So Brynn finally attached her black to knowing what an angry black woman would look like and how that comes off. So that shows me even further the setup of Brynn towards Sai and Uba, that you would antagonize these ladies so much, get them so stirred up like a hornet's nest, and then as soon as they react, then you, a black lady, assign the stereotype of angry black woman to them. That's some fucked up, psychologically tortured shit, Brynn. That's some foul, nasty nastiness, Brynn. White passing Karen. Yes, Karen. That's why you ain't got nobody to love your ass yet. That's why all they do is dip in and dip out. You must show that to the people too, because nobody wants to be bothered with that shit for too long. I'm telling you the truth. There is not too many people I know on this whole world who would be set up like that, only for you to call out what they're being set up to look like. Really, bitch? Really? Do you care? Or are you trying to put that out there on these black ladies who are visibly black? So now there's another noob. And the new noob, I forget her name, but she's very trendy. She's an art lady. She has a Asian lady fiance, and I love her story. She's Puerto Rican. And so Sai and Uba were telling this new lady about that whole little, you're going to come off looking like an angry black woman. And the new lady even saw it how I'm seeing it, like, bitch. No, she didn't invoke that. I was very put off. Now the other women don't really see it, and at least Jenna's smart enough to not say nothing. Erin is daft for her to even mention anything within that conversation. And I'm glad somebody checked her that she wouldn't know what she was talking about anyway. But yeah, that was really, and of course Jessel didn't have anything much to say. But that's really a setup on Brynn's part. That is such a setup, and I don't think that it's going to fare Brynn well in the end if this is her whole season. Okay? I mean, literally, not a good look. Let's see what these comments are saying. Let's see. Yeah, Zen Sai is a lie, though. Yeah, she's trying, though. I appreciate her trying. Yeah, if it's a joint account, why wasn't she notified? Like, she's not checking any statements or anything? Really? In this day and age, you have to count everything. I heard that. So that's how she could afford to up to date the holiday home. The holiday home, from what I heard, that is her family's Hamptons home. Like, that's not her and her husband's Hampton home, So if she did do some remodeling there, then it may have been with family money. I'm doing air quotes. It's very sensitive, Mimi. Brynn is messy, but at times Uba should count to 10 and not, yeah, Yeah, and not do size bidding. Well, I feel like she wasn't doing size bidding. She was doing her bidding to Brynn about what Cy told her. That's what I kind of feel like. Then there was this little pineapple episode where it seemed like maybe Cy and Brynn did have a safe word when they felt like they might be going to an angry black place. And the word was pineapple, and that had Uba shut the fuck up immediately. Pineapple. That's all Cy said. Pineapple, pineapple, and that was before we found out that this one, Brynn, had said what she said about the angry black woman. Um, Loads of type of fancy show pigeons. No way. There's fancy. So are you talking fancy show pigeons like feather-footed pigeons? Are you talking about those? And three-toed pigeons? No, feather-footed pigeons. My uncle, whenever he did want a pigeon, he always wanted the feather-footed pigeons for some reason. I can see Brynn being mean like Cy. Yep. I think they all have that in them. Yeah, they all have a mean streak. I mean, and the mean streak also comes from insecurity, is what we're seeing. Just like in our own lives, most of the time that we lash out in meanness, it's probably because of a little like doubt or fear or insecurity in our own selves, and then we lash out or whatever, right? But I'm not a psychiatrist or nothing. Uber needs to order them a roach pizza. Yeah, a real roach pizza. That was disgusting. And it did affect Uba like that when they started pulling roaches out from under the dessert she was eating. She like literally went and threw up. And then it triggered Cy throwing up. So then they're both throwing up everywhere. And Brynn and Aaron are laughing hysterically at the thought of the smell of throw up all over the bathroom. It was disgusting. I'm telling you, that's gross. That's not that to me, that's just not funny. Bodily fluids aren't funny. Throw up's not funny. Booger game isn't funny. Nope, you keep that shit over there. Yeah, Uba makes me laugh when she's mad, when she's had enough. She's hilarious because she can't even cuss right. Pigeons, pigeons. She just kept saying pigeons. Brynn does need therapy. Um, I don't know if in her family, like her brother doesn't, I don't know, is her brother black passing also? Or do they share the same parents? Because he didn't look like he had black to me. But he could have some too. Who knows? Uber reminds me of when I've had enough. I'm telling you, right? Yes, tumblers they called. Yeah. So I'm just like, what is going on with the three black girls? And then I'm like, leave it to fucking Bravo to go from no black girls not wanting to talk about how white girls mistreat black girls, and then scooching right along, nothing to see here over and nothing to see there, folks, and then jumping right into black women not getting along. You see that? Did you see what just happened? So had these conflicts been happening with like, had Brynn really been white, they wouldn't have been showing these conflicts. But because this is a black girl being able to cuss another black girl out, and they're able to bring up the harmful stereotypes, then oh yeah, Bravo will show that. You see what I'm saying? Because they brought it up. We didn't do anything. They did it to themselves. I hope they see the usury of this. Yeah, yeah. So, in this most recent episode, though, it was just really boring. Jessel had a party. She changed 4 times. She walked funny the whole time, trying to keep her skirt down in the back. I would think that if you were really going to change some things, you would have paid for hair and makeup too, and came in with a different hair style every time instead of that same bob with the same barrette in the same exact place. But you have on a whole new quote 80s look, whatever, Jessel. And then trying to talk your husband into having a baby, that's a way to get divorced faster, right? He already made it clear he don't want another baby, Jessel. He does not want another baby. They have the most horrible communication. I'm like, was their marriage arranged? Because I am not feeling nothing from them. Nothing. They don't give me hot, sweaty sex. They don't give me, I can't keep my hands to myself. I love you so much. They give me arranged business partnership. And hey, if that's what you want, that's what you get. But that doesn't make babies. You can tell. Because he don't want no more. Okay. And what else happened this episode? Oh, Jenna. So then all of a sudden, Aaron was mad at Jenna because Jenna and Sai are friends, but she can talk to Sai about it, but can't talk to Jenna about it until she breaks down and basically is like, Jenna, I need you to call me more. I'm codependent on you and I need you to check in on me, even though I know everybody's saying you're broke and you're trying to spin that story and you obviously have some business. I'm gonna need you to check in on me because of everything that's going on with my mother. And didn't you notice I cut my hair? It was weird. Yeah, that was weird. And who else is on the show? Anybody else? We did Jenna, we did Uba, we did Sai. We did Jessel. I talked a little bit about the. Oh yeah, and then there's somebody. So there's this. So in Beverly Hills, Crystal Minkoff just got fired, and on Vicky Gunvalson's podcast, that's here on YouTube if you find it, she said as much that she wanted to come back, but they let her go. Um, So, and her last name is Minkoff, and she's married to Rob Minkoff. So, I don't know if she's related to this new Minkoff lady who's a Scientology lady here, and she wears all black. And I don't remember her first name, but her last name is Minkoff. And she's very much like watching paint dry, you guys. She's so boring. Like you see, I almost forgot all about her, except for that her name is another housewife's name. Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do there. Um, yeah, and that's kind of it, you guys. That's kind of it. We're coming up on an hour. It wasn't too hard. Rebecca Minkoff, thank you guys. Yeah, she's boring, right? Aaron is mad about the $250 Uber ride. Well, but she said she wasn't. And then when her and Jenna finally made up, and she was happy when Jenna started calling her more. So I don't know if it was really the 250. I think she used that as an in and then didn't want to say that it was a 250, so she made it that you're not checking on me even though my mom is going through all of this stuff. I could get with that because none of these ladies really seem honest. Erin is so passive aggressive, it's disgusting. Yeah, but she thinks she's like the main one. Yeah, those people lie all the time. um Darn, I was on StreamYard for the other live just before this because we did RHOP. Now we're doing Real Housewives of New York. And I think it's 11:15 or 11:30. We'll be doing some Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But that's also going to be here on YouTube. So I would love it. Darn, there's no way for me to invite you right now. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Oh, they're not related. Good. You swore you weren't going to watch. Yeah. Salt Lake City in New York. Well, I'm coming back with Salt Lake City. I think it's at 11:30. Like I said. But that's kind of all it is for New York. I hope that in the future episodes we see Brynn do something. Maybe we'll find out what she does and find out about her storyline besides telling the other black ladies how to live. Um, yeah, I appreciate Sai's journey towards calmness. And I don't disagree with the activated Uber, by the way. I appreciate an activated Uber because they really do skeet with her a lot. Like, how you gonna play in her face all the time just because she's nice and her English gets choppy? Yeah. I won't watch Beverly Hills when it starts. I'm over it. Oh, that's going to be so good. Oh, and Teddy. Did you guys hear that Teddy Mellencamp, who's about to get divorced from Eduardo or Eddie, whatever the guy's name was, and then she wanted something outside of the prenup. And he answered, and he's like, you guys need to enforce this prenup. We got a prenup. We already said how much we was getting before, how much she was getting. Everything's according to the prenup. But Teddy was asking for more. And then just today, somebody on the YouTube streets, allegedly, Teddy was having an extracurricular affair outside of the house and with a trainer or something. And allegedly, that's why the marriage is devolving, is because of extramarital affair on Teddy's side. But is it horrible that I don't put it past her since she slept with Edwin the first night? She slept with Edwin the first night. Like, hey, I don't even, you guys do what you want with your twats, but look, you should make people work a little bit for the whole, you know? You can't just be going around giving away the box for free. You got to get to know a person. Are they worthy? You don't even know if a person is worthy after only knowing them from a bar. Plus, you could have beer goggles on. You know what I mean? And Bravo is doing Real Housewives of London. Oh, yeah. Kyle and Maurice. So the thing with Kyle is I'm pretty sure she said she was divorcing Mauricio because of the whole thing where he stole all that money from the house that he stole from the dictator in Al Balan on that continent. And freaking he was in hot water for that. So she needed to seem like she was leaving him so they could separate assets. And she was pulling an Erica Jane. This is allegedly, in my opinion. And then in his playing like they were divorcing, he really got close to the girl he was kissing on. And now you have what you have. They thieved from her sister too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kyle is bringing down the show. She needs her. She doesn't need her own show. I don't think she needs to get rewarded for this freaking stuff. Yeah. I'm not with rewarding all this abhorrent behavior. Look, you don't get to steal from people and then cover it up and then pretend to be gay for the cameras just so we don't ask you about your husband. And yeah, it's just too much. If you're going to be on a reality show, be on a reality show. Never marry a crook. Marry a cook, not a crook. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go. I hope to see you guys. Make sure you ring the bell so you can get notified when I do go live later. Smash that like button on the way out. It looks like I only got 6 likes. I don't know if it's because you didn't like me or what, but I love you, so it doesn't really matter. There's enough to go around, and I hope you go get some. I just want her to have her own show so I don't have to. That's a good point. Like when they had threatened to go over to Netflix before it got canceled. When she had threatened to go over to Netflix, that was kind of nice thinking about her not being for every scene, huh? Right? That's hilarious. We do think alike. That's hilarious. Okay, you guys, make it a great day if I don't see you later. And remember, there's enough to go around. So go get some. See you later, Curvies.